And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. This is your boy FlyIsland guy. Today we are back in the Magdalen Islands today. We're actually going to be heading on a shortish trip to little town of Summerside, PEI. So luckily, looks like we just missed some weather here. Well, I don't see any snow on the ground, but there's definitely some snow in the area, so we missed it, and which is good. And now the weather down in PEI right now should be pretty amazing. Looks like they got partly cloudy skies. Of course, it's going to be super cold in Canada. It's minus 16. Winds are out of the west, 14 knots. So no complaints around that overall. Our flight plan is pretty straightforward. We are just gonna get in the air, get onto our flight path, and then pretty much fly straight down to PEI, which is yeah, right there. Gonna be doing the RNAV approach. Of course, I'll discuss that once we are on the way. But in the meantime, let's get going. Already have the airport map here. We're departing runway 34 today, which will require us to go left. And then we'll backtrack on onto runway 34 and then take off. The interesting thing is that I have upgraded my computer to Windows 11, and I'm really hoping I see some kind of performance boost. But I don't know. Flight Simulator's been pretty stuttery for me as of late. I'm not really too sure why. It's a little frustrating because it's kind of messing up the quality of my videos. Anyways, small things. Stay positive. Try not to worry about that too much. Alright, so here we are at the end of runway 34. Let's just bust a hot one right here. And looks like we're going to be flying out over the water, which is awesome. Alright, we are gonna just pop on the parking brakes real quick. Heater is already on because it's negative 13 outside, so we gotta make sure that's on. Let's get our strobes on, landing lights can come on as well. I've set the trim pretty far forward because our center of gravity is pretty far back right now. So just want to make sure there's no weird issues on takeoff. Outside of that, I think we are pretty much good to go. Gonna go into high idle. Let's set our takeoff power. Let's get out of here. Getting blown off to the left a little bit.
Airborne time lock.
Dealing with very strong winds today. So right now our ground speed is 82 knots. We're doing 96 indicated. just to show you how strong the winds are right now. It's a beautiful evening. Once again, this is one of those real-time flights that I tell you guys about. So it is actually evening here in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Should be in the same time zone. And I'm gonna get the autopilot on. So let's hold it. Flight level change. Good to go. I don't like to play around too much with this with this aircraft. All right, let's get our range kind of zoomed in so we can see where we're going. All right, and we are going to head left. Come on. There we go. What a beautiful, beautiful sight, man. So right now we're kind of still in winter time, so things, well, it gets dark a little early-ish here, but we're going to be heading into daylight savings time soon, probably in what, April? So that's going to help a lot with the evening flights. Cruising altitude for today is 10,000 feet, and our flight time is about 44 minutes. So that is pretty cool. All right. Just trying to check a few things here. Gonna pull back as usual. Our RPM's 2,000 feet for climb. There we go. I'm just going to hit nav mode now, and once we intercept the flight path, it'll turn on to the correct heading. What an awesome sight, man. So saying goodbye to the Magdalen Islands for now, or the French name Île de la Madeleine. And we're going to be heading over to the other island, which is Prince Edward Island. Now, if you guys don't know too much about Prince Edward Island, it is a small, well, it's kind of, I'd say it's Canada's smallest province, maybe. I'm not 100% sure if that's correct, but I can imagine it is. And it's a small island located off of New Brunswick. And I've mentioned this before. So let me bring up Navigraph. So I mentioned this before. This is Prince Edward Island here. And it's connected to the mainland by this bridge, which is a Confederation bridge. I've been here once or twice, actually. I like the vibe. But for me, being in Atlantic Canada, it's kind of all, once you've been to like one of these provinces, it's kind of all the same. I'm not too sure about Newfoundland, but definitely New Brunswick and Halifax definitely have a very similar vibe. But I'd say Halifax is probably the most interesting city, or the more of the interesting cities, and probably the biggest one in Atlantic Canada. Sorry about having that thing on the screen just now. I'm still getting used to Windows 11. I'm gonna have to figure out what that is and disable that, because I don't like that. It's almost like if you're moving from one screen to the next, it kind of tracks where your old monitor was. So let's bring up some information here on where we're heading in Prince Edward Island, which is Summerside. Now, I have been in Summerside. It's, as I said, it's really, really small. PEI isn't really that big itself, so Summerside is just a very small town there. So Summerside is a Canadian city in Prince County, Prince Edward Island. It's the second largest city in the province, which does not say much. Prince Edward Islands is small, and the primary service center for the western part of the island. In the 2021 census of population conducted by Statistics Canada, Summerside had a population of 16,001, living in 7,097 of its 7,393 total private dwellings. So with a land area of 28.21 kilometers squared, or about 11 square miles, had a population density of 567.2 kilometers squared. Don't really know what that means exactly, but it is what it is. The largest single employer within the city is the Summerside Tax Centre, a Government of Canada agency which principally processes the Goods and Services Tax, or GST. The Sleman Business Park, formerly a military air base, hosts a concentration of several aerospace and transportation companies in former military buildings. So I think Sleman is actually where we're flying to now. Vector Aerospace Engine Services Atlantic repairs and overhauls gas turbine aircraft engines. Astoria Americas produces interiors for aircraft and mass transit service vehicles, and Honeywell manufactures and repairs parts for aircraft. So they also have the Amalgamated Dairies Limited, which was founded in 1953 by 6 dairies as a cooperative and owned by dairy producers. And the outlying community of New Annan is home to the operations of Cavendish Farms, a Prince Edward Island's largest private sector employee. Cavendish Farms maintains 2 large frozen food processing plants in New Annan. Other outlying communities such as Borden, Carlton have important employers for Summerside residents. Side note, Cavendish has some bomb like tater tots and stuff. Since the closure of CFB Summerside in 1990, the city has been aggressive in courting new business opportunities and has created an economic development office for the purpose of encouraging investment in the city. And CFB Summerside is now the location of the Summerside Airport. So once again, that's where we're heading now. Alright, so Summerside has 7 English public schools, 4 elementary, 2 junior high, and 1 senior high. The English Language School Board has an office in the city as well. And the city also has 1 French public school operated by the Commission Scolaire de Langue Française. Holland College, Prince Edward Island's community college system, maintains 3 facilities in Summerside as well. And there's also the College of Piping and Celtic Performing Arts of Canada there as well. So the city of Summerside operates the only municipally owned electric utility in Prince Edward Island after buying Charlottetown Light and Power in 1918. Maritime Electric consolidated electric distribution on the island, and the company is offered to take over the operations in Summerside, but backed down after citizens rejected various offers. The Summerside distribution grid has an interconnection with the Maritime Electric transmission grid since 1961. So there's also the Prince County Hospital, located in the city's north end, and is the main referral hospital in the western part of the province. Island Emergency Medical Services operates 2 advanced life support paramedic ambulances 24/7 from its base downtown. So Summerside has a humid continental climate with warm but somewhat moderate summers. It has cold winters with heavy snowfall, with some maritime moderation compared to areas further inland. The highest temperature ever recorded in Summerside was 33.7 on the 15th of July 2013. So last but not least, in terms of attractions, they have the Summerside Raceway, which is a standbred harness racing track, which is believed to be the oldest operating racing track in Canada, having opened in 1886. It's adjacent to the Credit Union Place, which is the largest indoor sports facility in the province, with a large hockey arena seating 4,000, a bowling alley, a 25-meter swimming pool, and other fitness and meeting facilities. Other attractions include the Harbourfront Theatre, the College of Piping and Celtic Performing Arts, the Silver Fox Curling and Yacht Club, the Summerside Golf and Country Club, and the PEI Sports Hall of Fame and Spinnaker's Landing. The city has redeveloped several waterfront industrial sites abandoned by the railway and marine terminal during the 1990s into new parkland. A major reconstruction of the west end seawall has resulted in a new waterfront boardwalk for residents and visitors. And the former post office on Summer Street was designated a National Historic Site of Canada in 1983. The former railway station, designed by architect Charles Benjamin Chapel and built in 1927, was designated a National Historic Site of Canada in 2007 as well. The fish industry has also thrived and recently created a whole new division of tourism industry. And according to 2016 demographics of the city, most of the tourism in recent years is from families just wanting to go sail out of the ocean, catch some fish to sell to a market or bring home. So that's just a few fun facts about Summerside. I could imagine we'll probably be starting descent sometime soon. Oh, maybe. No, we have a while to go. But 50 nautical miles, so about maybe 90 nautical miles till we start a descent. 80, 90 I could imagine. Maybe less actually, because this waypoint is at 91. So maybe 70. Maybe 70, yeah. Alright folks, we're just going to continue our flight. We're just heading out over the water, so there's not much to see here. But I will catch you guys when we get back, when we start our descent into Summerside. Okay? Talk to you then. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Start our descent into Summerside. We look off to our left. That is New Brunswick, mainland New Brunswick. And over to our right here is Prince Edward Island. Now, I'm actually curious as to where the bridge would be. Not too sure. The bridge is behind us, so actually going to be pretty difficult to see. But would have been cool if we could have crossed over the Confederation Bridge. It's all good. So we're actually on our base leg, just doing the right base onto final. And actually already seen the airport flying past. Actually, I think that's the airport. Right there. Yep, it's the runway up in the distance. And we're descending to 1,600 feet. At that point, we'll just activate approach mode and hopefully go in for a pretty sweet and steady landing. Actually, I just realized I didn't actually do the approach review, but yeah, so basically we flew into Laurel. It's the initial approach fix, and as I just mentioned, we're about to do that right turn onto final, heading towards runway 05, and we're doing the RNAV GNSS runway 05 approach. So pretty straightforward, as is most island approaches. Not really going to find anything too crazy, because obviously islands aren't really surrounded by mountains or anything like that. So the approach is normally going to be pretty straightforward. So this flight today had us taking a group of passengers, 6 passengers to be exact. And you see we have the Summit interior, so these are executives. But because I couldn't refit the plane to hold 7 passengers, essentially I'm bringing in 6 right now. Then I have to fly back out to the Magdalen Islands and get the last passenger and then bring them back. So then what I'm going to do is, once I complete this flight, I'm going to fire up the plane, head back to Magdalen Islands tonight. I can imagine by the time I get there, it's going to be night landing, and then I'll come back probably in the morning and do this last flight. Alright. Whoa, what's going on there? What I'm going to do there is going to get the instrument panel lit up. Switches panel as well. Alright, looking good. So, it's the airport ahead of us. We do have a pretty strong crosswind, about 27 knots. So it's sort of like a tailwind / crosswind. So we are crabbing a little bit to the left. So we've got less than 1,000 to go before we reach 1,600 feet. I'm actually going to adjust my altimeter while I'm doing that. And let's see. I'm going to bring up the airport map as well. I'm actually surprised. There's an 8,000 foot runway here, so I'm curious as to why they don't have regular flights coming in here. I don't know. I've never heard of any commercial flights coming into Summerside. It could be wrong though. I'm going to go ahead and activate approach mode. And we're going to slow down now. Let's get... Yep. Glide path is active. So we'll go flaps down and got to bring our RPMs to max as we prepare for landing, folks. So if this was kind of during the summer or the spring, you'd probably see more beaches, a lot more beautiful scenery, but since this is the sucky Canadian winter, all we're seeing is snow-covered trees, frozen lakes, and frozen ocean. Alright, just do a gums check. Fuel's fine, undercarriage is always down, RPM is set to full, mixtures set to high idle. We are good to go, folks. Landing lights are on as well. I'm just going to take over from here. So, yaw damper, autopilot off, I have controls.
500.
Getting some bumps, a little bit of bumps on approach here. Little high. It's fine though, lots of runway. Get a little more to the center. Come on. Come on.
Landing time locked.
There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to breezy Summerside. Looking for this turn off right here. Is this turn off? There we go. Hard to see with all this snow on the runway. Getting some icing going on. Just fine, but we're about to park anyway. Let's see. Just gonna stop here for a quick second. I'm gonna get the windshield ice on. Landing lights will come off. Strobes already just turned off. Flight director can come off as well. Don't need that. And I think we are good to go. So plenty of places here for me to park. Let's just choose this first marsh right here. good to go. All right. Beacons can come off, and gonna go ahead and cut the engine as well.
Engine off time log. Flight is finished. It has been monitored by On Air.
That was an absolutely beautiful flight. Passengers could come off. All right, now we're gonna do a quick turnaround here, and we're gonna head back out to the Magdalen Islands because I need to be in a position to just make that flight tomorrow and drop that last passenger off. But that is it for me, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed the flight. Absolutely amazing, absolutely beautiful. Weather's been great as well, and make sure to come check next time, or check back next time. Should have a surprise for the next video, depending on the order of the video, but the main surprise is I'm going to be upgrading some equipment here, and it's going to just add a cool new dimension to my videos, so absolutely looking forward to that. But we'll see. It depends on what order these videos come out when you're going to see that. But anyway, take care. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share the videos if you see fit. I put out new videos every few days. Outside of that, it's your boy FlyIsland guy saying stay safe, and most importantly, stay fly. I'm out. Peace.